Let's get to it. And we're going to get started with Rivals of Aether. Tomorrow is the official launch date of this 2D platformer fighting game. You might be familiar with Rivals of Aether 1. It's made by the same studio as making the Rivals of Aether 2. Game is going to be put out by Aether Studios, as well as published by, I believe, it's Ludwig's publishing company. It's the first game they're putting out. So we're getting some support behind this game. There's a lot of buzz behind this game. A lot of people are excited for it. We went over a bunch of different information the past couple weeks with Rivals of Aether 2. There's a lot of buzz and excitement from players. They want to get invested in this game. They want to really sink in. So let's get started. We're going to talk about the deep dive here of Rivals of Aether 2, what they expect for the roadmap and the future after launch tomorrow. So let's go.
Launch version. Rivals of Aether 2 is finally releasing next Wednesday. We hope you've been enjoying the free demo on Steam Next Fest in the meantime.
23rd.
There's a few more features we're excited to unveil in the launch version, like arcade mode and our monthly events. So make sure to look forward to the full release next week. As part of our lead up to launch, we've been getting you the full download on what to expect in the game with a series of videos.
What's that, man?
So the game looks so smooth.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you, but yeah, it does. It really does. And it looks smooth for like the last month and a half we've talked about. So it doesn't feel like there's a ton of crunch at the back end here for launch. All right.
Videos featuring studio lead Dan Fernacci. Today, our final video in this deep dive series is going to talk you through what you can expect after the game launches. Rivals 2 is designed to be a long-term project, with free gameplay additions like new characters and new modes added over the years, just like Rivals 1. We have a lot of plans for the game, and we're excited to talk about our future together.
This looks like what it's going to be, generally the roadmap expected. They've got Halloween skins coming up. They've got 4 free new characters. That free word, 4-letter word that we do like. But Nick, I'm pretty sure, what's it called? I'm pretty sure these new characters, the 4-letter words, you're a pretty big advocate in 4-letter words. How does free stand up for you?
I mean, it's a fighting game. They should all be free. That's how I feel about Overwatch, like in the beginning. And I was really glad when Overwatch switched to allow characters to just be there for the players to play. Like it's pretty important when these characters do counter each other, and there's a whole, rock, paper, scissors in like every fighting game. So free characters is great. That way you don't have to feel bad.
Right. There is a competitive integrity to that, where if not everybody has availability to all the characters, it kind of creates a competitive edge one way or the other, depending on how patch notes go, how mechanics are working currently, bugs, etc. It's a little bit trickier when you have a roster of like 160 characters, like with League of Legends or possibly Dota. But I do, like, we were talking about this yesterday about, doing some streaming this week and like getting me into playing League. Let's do our starting matches to rank into comp and whatnot. But you said that you needed 16 characters for League to start. And like, you also said they do a pretty good job of getting you the 16 characters, but that's the competitive game. Same idea. Characters not necessarily need to be free, but they should be easily accessible so that nobody gets a competitive edge over another. So love to see that here with Rivals of Aether 2, especially on launch, and bringing in 4 new characters over 2025 for free.
Yeah. No, it's great. Free stuff is always great.
Hey, Billy here. Wanted to take a quick minute to let you know a few different things. If you enjoyed the video so far, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps us out, and it tells the algorithm to share it with more people. You can find the Esports Meta live every week on Twitch and YouTube. It's where we film the podcast or hang out, play games, and chat. If social media is more your vibe, check us out on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, or Twitter if you use Threads. Does anybody use Threads? This is a video game community that's excited to talk about esports, so jump into the conversation. Of course, you can find more videos like this here on YouTube. Just hit that subscribe button right there or there. Thanks for watching, and let's get back to the show.
Yeah, especially in this day and age, and I know we keep repeating this, but video games as a whole in general have a tendency of gone the other direction of DLC. You have to pay to get another ticket to get to the thing you actually want. You don't actually own the game anymore. You're just licensing it technically. Like a lot of those nuances that have shifted over the past 10, 20, 25 years. But, focusing on Rivals of Aether here, let's continue. Rivals of Aether 2, they've got events coming up for winter as well as Rivals 3D. I'm not sure what that is, but they might go into a little further. They have an esports season right off the bat. They're going to be looking to play this competitive. This is obviously a competitive game. Online wise, they might be able to do something solid. They might be able to bring in some good conventions, some good tournaments. So glad to see that happening. Get some investment from players and competitive players to make a name for themselves. They're also announcing Story Mode Chapter 1 coming out, ranked rewards and updates, menu updates, crew battle mode, which, Nick, I know that's more old school. You know, you get some beef against somebody, you want a money match on something. A crew battle is an interesting aspect of that, where you have multiple players versus multiple players in not a tag team way.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be good for the community. That happens in Smash right now. It happens in Mortal Kombat. I'm not sure if it happens in Tekken, but you know, it happens in fighting games already, where people are like they group themselves together until they break off.
Yeah, completely. It is a big demand from players, so it's good to see that they're already integrating it or expecting to integrate it next year soon, right? Like, you know, they're already aware of what the players are going to want. This is a game by gamers for gamers, very clearly being made here. And then finally, custom colors, console launch in 2025, 2026 expected. I think he talks about that a bit more in the video. So let's head into the rest of this video.
More today.
Hey guys, I'm Dan Fernacey, the studio lead at Aether Studios, and this is the video you've been waiting for. Today, I'll be sharing about our post-launch plans for Rivals of Aether 2. The main focus after any launch is going to be squashing bugs, keeping an eye on balance, and making sure that everyone who bought the game has a great experience. Other than that, first up is ranked mode. We've gotten some great feedback and data from our current iteration, and we plan to add new menus to better see your progress as well as unique rewards. Meanwhile, our art team will be working to release a steady stream of cosmetic items to the shop. As we detailed in our last two deep dives, once a month there will be an event that brings multiple skins tied to a new theme. We'll frequently be releasing groups of items too, such as our upcoming Halloween bundle, which will feature the Slasher Claren that we previewed last week. It'll also feature new skins for Rano and Zetterberg, as well as new icons and an emote. Tutorials are absolutely planned, and we hope to start on them shortly after launch, along with other training mode improvements. In the meantime, we developed a new player guide with a bunch of helpful information that we hope can ensure that the new player experience is a good one.
All right, I want to stop there real quick because right there, new player mode, awesome. A lot of people probably haven't heard of this game. A lot of people haven't played the first game. So coming over from Super Smash Bros. For the first time, understanding the different physics and capacity of the game. We've talked about that as a super important in video games. You need to know what you're working with, and you don't know what you're not going to know. So having a training mode off the bat, hopefully they do a good enough deep dive where they can like let players know, get them involved, get them engaged to the mechanics. Because my understanding of this game, Rivals of Aether 1, was built off of the model of what's it called? Of wave dashing. They loved wave dashing so much that they basically made that a main staple, a foundational part of this game. And that's coming over to Rivals of Aether 2. So seeing that training mode, hopefully they give and provide that immediately off the bat. All right, Nick, you still with us?
I'm still here.
All right. What else did they talk about? You know, a little bit of the Halloween costumes. They're going to have a couple of the tutorials, footage, etc. But that's pretty straightforward. And I wanted to highlight that because, again, this is a game by gamers for gamers. They're really just, they're listening, they're doing the things. That save state stuff, the online stuff, the new player guide, all wonderful, wonderful additions, man. All right, let's move into the next aspect of here. Let me find where we were. Story mode, there it was. Okay.
Our main hope with launch is that we're successful enough to bring back the team that started story mode. It is planned to come out in chapters that focus on different characters or different parts of the story. Chapter 1 is designed to be a linear platforming adventure that takes place directly after the events of Rivals 1, while the later chapters may have different exploration methods for the platforming. Even if the game is successful, it will still take us some time to deliver Chapter 1. Our current plan is to release 4 characters per year. We plan to pull from the Rivals 1 roster, including the Workshop 5, as well as existing characters in the universe who were not previously playable, like Fleet and Loxodon. We'll also be designing some brand new characters, never before seen in Aether. We don't have plans for guest characters at the moment, but we won't say never on that either. Workshop is going to be a huge initiative.
Real quick too, Nick, I know we're watching the video. I wanted to touch into Rival of Aether 1. The character pool was quite limited by comparison to a lot of fighting games, AAA stuff, but it was very in-depth. And then they added characters at the time. They had workshop characters, like you said, but then also he called them guest characters. It's Ori from the Xbox game and Shovel Knight. And Shovel Knight's another fantastic platformer. Metrovania style platformer, and it was so cool to see him in a fighting game. I'd love to bring him back, but Dan just said that they're not likely currently, but they're open to the possibility in the future. What are your thoughts here about these guest characters or the roster? Because we are expecting more, and like you're saying, they're going to bring in new characters immediately, and then they're going to bring in workshop characters, fan-made characters, basically, that worked well, and then these guest characters. So what are your thoughts with how best to implement that?
It's kind of crazy, honestly. I didn't even know that for the first one. Well, seeing Ori's insane. That's real cool.
Ori was such a fantastic game, and then to have him come into the fighting game like that almost out of nowhere is such a little Easter egg treat for you.
Yeah, no, I it would be cool to see some other games. I wouldn't know what they'd put in there. I don't know, Ratchet and Clank, that would be pretty sick.
Maybe we get Ludwig on the case and we get some big names out there to push this and push a character development, guest character as they're calling it. That would be really neat. So yeah, speculate. Let us know what your thoughts are. If you want to see a specific character in this fighting game, what kind of characters across the board. Maybe what's his face from Psychonauts would be kind of cool. The main character, Ratchet and Clank might be another cool one. We might get another better version of Multiverses, the non-buggy version of Multiverses, or a diverse version of Smash Bros. Right, non-Nintendo. Yeah. All right. Let's move into the next part of this video. We try to wrap this up. Just get into the launch details.
Workshop is going to be a huge initiative. The move to 3D presents a lot of challenges, and we don't have the advantage of Yellow Afterlight from the Rivals 1 team, whose previous work accelerated our development. It is on our roadmap, and we have even done some foundational work, but we still expect it to take a year or two. Just like with story mode, our success at launch will help dictate how quickly we can scale up our team in order to take on a big feature like Workshop. This may come as a huge surprise to you based on what I've shared so far, but we expect to come to console in 1 to 2 years. The main limiting factor here is getting these other features we discussed in-game, so that our console debut can feel like a definitive version of the experience. We care a lot about our competitive community, and there is so much that we were able to do with Rivals 1 considering how small our team was.
That's it. That'll do it. That's it. There we go.
We have big plans on how we could support Rivals 2, especially with Off-Brand being our co-publisher now. But you'll have to stay tuned for more news on this subject soon.
All right, there we go. The cool thing about this game being launched on Steam is Workshop, and they are involving the Workshop still, so players can go in, dive in deeper behind the scenes, mods, etc., to adjust skins, introduce characters, it looked like. So that's really awesome to see. The game comes out tomorrow, October 23rd, with their co-publisher, Ludwig Studios, generally speaking. It's going to be a lot of fun. The demo is live currently on Steam. If you've already wishlisted this, you can take a look at your wish list, head to the game, find the demo, and find the full version if you're watching this after October 23rd. The full roster of characters and fighters at launch. Let's move out into there. We've got Zetterburn, Rano, Raster, Krag, Maypole, Claren, and Orcane. They're adding Fleet, Lorena, and Loxodon. I'm not sure if Lorena is already in it, but I believe they're going to come out on the launch. Right? I didn't get to see on the actual game screen for this, but it's looking like a wonderful game. Super duper exciting. Going to take a look at this tomorrow after launch. Nick, with the last couple of moments there, what are your thoughts as far as how the game and what to expect? How should we approach this launch from your point of view?
I'm wondering what controller I'm going to use. That's where my head's at.
It's a fair question. Are we going to go with the GameCube controller? Are we going to go with a fighting stick? Are we getting an Xbox controller, PS4? You know, where you at on that one?
So I thought like the Smash Brothers Ultimate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sucked on anything but the Pro controller. I thought the Pro controller was the best controller for it with how big my hands are and everything. Even like old GameCube controllers and stuff. If this has wave dashing, like I just want a GameCube controller. My muscle memory is already there.
Yeah, I wonder if the wave dashing is mechanically the same in this version, but I would assume so. If
it's not,
you know,
do you know how mad people are going to be? Like you said, wave dashing.
Yeah. That's not wave dashing. That's, you know, button smashing or yeah. But either way, the reception so far and reviews are looking really solid. Go check it out. Let us know what your thoughts are. Let us know what controller you're looking to play this game. What's the controller of choice? Are you going with the Nintendo Switch Pro controller? You know, keeping it conventional, or are you going Super Smash Bros? What is it? Wavebird back in the day, wireless GameCube controller. We doing Xbox, we doing PlayStation. You doing something even wilder? All right, let us know in the comments. Hit us up on our social media. We're here to talk about this kind of stuff at the Esports Meta on all your favorite social media platforms. But for now, that's going to wrap us up for Rivals of Aether currently.